I love that name, oh, that name Jesus. I love that name, oh, that name Jesus. Honor that name, oh, that name Maria. I honor that name, oh, that name Maria. I love that name, oh, that name Maria. I honor that name, oh, that name Maria.
The next presentation is on good financial practices in CWA. The objectives is on keeping good financial records for the well-being of our association that needs to be followed carefully, put into practice. This will be done by no other person than Beatrice Ara Are, General Financial Secretary of Boya Diocese.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. This is another presentation which is so different, very sensitive, that needs a lot of precaution, that needs a lot of care. It's all about money. We all know the dangers of money. Even the Bible says money is the root of all evil. In Pidgin, they say money na it fix am, money na it spoil am. Good finance practices in CWA. Why good? Why good finance practices in the CWA? It means there have been some practices in the finances of CWA that have not been moving well. And that is the reason for the leadership course ongoing for CWA in general to harmonize the keeping of money or finances, that we all should be in the same level. So many things have happened with keeping the books or for the financial procedures that I cannot mention now because of time. My dear sisters, money is a heartbeat of any organization, and CWA is no exception. Finances are necessary and important to any group. CWA as well need money for the association. Money makes the world go round. Equally, money makes CWA go round. For my presentation, my dear sisters, with finances is more practical. How I wish we were together. But because we cannot be together, there are certain things we cannot do. Because if we were together, we'll do it more practical. But then, before we go to the practical side of it, there are some financial terms that we need to explain. Like keeping good finance records. We must explain those terms so that we understand it before we can do it practically. Keeping. How do we preserve things? How do we preserve our plates in the house? Our food, our clothes? With finances, keeping means how do you preserve the records? One way is by filing, keeping the records in a chronological order. It means when you are doing payments, there are payment vouchers. You arrange them chronologically and systematically, keeping, filing. Because in finances, you don't discard a document until after 10 years. Good. It means that your document should be, it should look nice. It should be obtainable. It should be well kept. It should be clear. It should be presented very well. No mutilation, no cancellation. Financial. It's got to do with money and finances. Money is a medium of exchange. Money is an exchange for value. You cannot buy cash with cash. You cannot buy money with money. With money, you buy products, you buy services. Records. It means the figures are presented in a very special way. And good figures are accountable. It means the record should be clean, clear, neat, accurate, reliable, easy to follow. And with recording, good record or good record keeping is very, very vital. It's the base. Good recording is the base of our finances. Proper accounting cannot be done if we don't have proper statistics that would enable us keep records. The number one is to have a good statistics of members of the branch or your group. Number two, you have to identify the group source of income. How? By drawing up a budget. 3, receipts should be issued when you receive money. For request of money, a payment voucher should be raised containing the purpose to meet the need of why that money should be paid. Decisions for that money. First of all, there must be a need, then a decision, then a request will be made. Then that request will be controlled by who? By the president. Always by the president. Yes, I know your level in United States and Europe is branch and zone. There is a branch president and there is a zonal president. So that president, there will be a request, it will be controlled, it will be verified, and then it will be approved by the president. No other person approves payment than the president. We are talking about recording, keeping good financial records. It means we need books. What are the books? They are called prime books of entry, or the book of first entry, or day books. At their level there in the United States and Europe, at that branch level, you need a day book. But first, the very first is a jotter. You need a jotter. I know with some bad practices, some have been using diaries. Your diaries could go as your jotter in this case. You must have a sales day book or a purchase day book and a register. That register serves as a sales day book, a purchase day book, a cash book. Why the prime books? The prime books are necessary because you record chronological. The prime book is the first book of entry. It helps minimize errors. It helps to finalize the account. You cannot just take, why is it called the first book of entry? It is because it's a daily entry of transactions. Transactions are recorded on a daily basis. Once a mother pays her dues, it is recorded. And by the time you record all those monies received from mothers, at the end of the period, you must balance, you must analyze, and you must get a total. That is why it helps to finalize the accounts in that your register. It means you as a financial secretary, because I'm talking to the financial secretaries if I'm right. I'm talking to the financial secretaries, even the treasurers and the auditors. We are all linked up. Because they are the one who keeps the books, who records. When they say keeping good financial record, we are talking about bookkeeping. Keeping book, that is recording chronologically, systematically in your books. It lessens chances of fraud, negligence, mistakes. Because with your day books, you analyze day by day, beginning with your date, your name of the mother who paid, the transaction. Why? Transaction is just telling us why the money was paid. How do you keep the financial records? We have said keeping good financial recording needs a book. It means a financial secretary must always have a pen, a ruler, a jotter, the register. With our new innovations, every branch financial secretary should come up with a register. You have your jotter, you have your register. Why we have these day books, it is because you cannot just start analyzing. You have many mistakes. But by the time you take from the jotter to the register, it lessens those chances of mistakes. So we record. You record into the day books. When you record now, you balance. Of course, your register can be a ledger. Call it a register, call it a ledger. When you record your entries into the day books, then now you post the entries. I said something earlier on, that for us, for proper accounting to be done well, we need to identify the group source of income. At the beginning of the year, the budget must be drawn. When we go to our statutes and bylaws, the previous speakers have shown you the bylaws and statutes. When you go to bylaw 8, it talks about management of funds. There, it is telling you how to manage the budget. I want to believe that these books were sent to you by the President General. So in this book, we will try to look how we prepare a budget. And if I can ask you a question, you, the financial secretaries, there in the United States and in Europe, I want to believe that you people have drawn your budget, because the statute says at any level, be it branch or zone, then the ESCO sit to draw the budget. It is not a one-man thing. The financial sector will not get up and say, I drew the budget. He will always work with the treasurer and then present it to the ESCO, that they will sit to look at that budget. We'll just talk small about, we all know what is a budget. The budget is their projected income and expenditure. In essence, it's a financial plan. The expected income, that's a budget. Why do we make budget? We make budget to create a spending plan. There's something they say, financial indiscipline. When you want to avoid financial indiscipline for whatever thing you are doing financially, you must draw a budget. You draw that budget, and the draft, we draw it to know where the money is going and where the money is coming. And above all, it helps you attain your financial goals. Why you draw a budget? It helps you draw the financial goals. And they tell us, when you are drawing that budget, what do you need as a preparation? You will get, as a branch, you will get all the income, possible sources of income for the years are taken into consideration. And all the possible expenditure for the year are taken into consideration at branch level, at zone, there. So, what are the data sources? They tell us past record of execution. If I may ask, if you drew your budget by the end of 2021, you had come out with something like your income statement, whether or not, once you are dealing with income expenditure, you should present an income statement. So the income statement for 2021, if you did prepare your budget for 2021, you should use it as your past record of execution. That is, past record of previous years will help you serve as a guide to prepare the budget for the current year. Another data source is percentage comparison. They say using percentage of that past execution can determine whether to increase or decrease the budget for the current year. But however, whatever the decision, the percentage of increase should be between 1 to 10%. So we'll move, like I was saying, I say how I wish we were together. When you go to page 38 of this, our leadership manual, you will see there a proposed budget for 2022. Source of income. But before we get here, I wish you were here, and then I will ask you, you tell me your budget heads. Because when you go to the bylaws status, they tell you the income, dues, Nazareth home, sales of articles, WOCO, in that order. We have talked about getting a proper statistics of the membership. How is your budget rule? It's ruled like this. On that page 38, you have the serial number, you have the budget heads, you have budget 2021, number of members, actual number of members, proposed budget for 2022, number of members. Our first budget head for income for CWA is dues. If you had your figure for 2021 that you budgeted, what was the estimate? What was the proposed? We take for example, the budget for 2021 members, maybe they're about 50. Let's take 50 was your budget. And in actual 2020, what did you realize for 2021? The number, your budget was 50 for the number of members. And for 2021, what was realized? Maybe you realized 60. And there, over there, you know, you pay your dues. You know how you pay your dues in euros and in dollars per member. You will take that amount for dues, you multiply it by the number that you have, and you will put it there. Or what you realize, you put the actual that was realized for 2021 and the number of members, because the number of members must tie the amount. So when you had, your budget was 50 for 2021, and now your actual is 60. How do you come with the estimate? How do you project for 2022? We'll do it like this. In your branch, you ended with 60. You have won new members. Maybe your new members, you won 10 new members. Big Day Maria, they call it August 15. It's August 15, yes. Maybe you won 10 more members. That's 70. That's you won 10. Then you add to the actual realized. 60 plus 10 is 70. And other, that's 70. So if you want to project, you can say 70 or 75, thinking that you will still win more new members. You take that 75, you multiply by your dues, and you get the proposed budget. You continue like that with your Nazareth home. You continue like that, because when you have that 70, if it is for Woko is 100 francs. It means you just multiply by 100. You come for sales, you estimate. There are certain things you can buy. You go directly to the market. You want to buy certain things or whatever. You put what will bring you income. You come for expenditure. You get all those budget heads for your income that you have identified for the year, and you put it at the end of the period. You just add up. You come for expenditure. You go back to your status. Which are the budget heads for expenditure when you want to make the budget? The number one thing is secretariat. You have documentation. You have communication. You have transport, ordinations, and final profession. It can be for bishops. You have social and charitable activities. All those are expenditure heads. You've had your, as we said, for income, you had your budgeted for 2021, your actual, and now you are budgeting for 2022. You use the same system. You propose, you estimate either the percentage comparison or with your existing previous income statement. You will determine your budget for 2022. And when you do all that, you sum up, you subtract the expenditure from the income. You have your budget for the period. When we go now to summary of forms, we have a form A for the branch contribution. You people there, over there, you have the branch level, and your highest is the zone. So when a mama pays, for example, Mamingwa, at branch level, the contributions received are entered into that register. It is ruled like this: names of all the branch members, seminary dues, Nazareth home. I want to say something here. The different levels, they have their different collections. But notwithstanding, we have the same way to rule the books. You over there, you have your collections. You know how you pay your dues. But there's one plea I want to make. When you are paying your dues, please, it's a plea. Your euros or your dollars, please, you try to convert it, the equivalent. You do it at once, and you send it to us that this is the money you have paid. There's Mamingwa, for example, you put the seminary dues. She has paid the Nazareth home. She has paid the Woko. At the end of the day, you add up. Mami Boven, Mami Ku, the same. But the most important thing, your seminary dues or the yearly dues is all add up. All add up at that branch. That branch register carry the names of every member of that branch. Whether you have paid your dues or you have not paid, you write all the names of the members of your branch. That will show us those who are paying, they pay, and you record accordingly. At the end of the day, like inside this book, the branch contribution was for a week. You over there, I think it's twice a month, or I don't know how you hold your meetings, but notwithstanding, the recording stands because you record it day by day. And at the end of the day, you should be able to have those who have paid. You add up your seminary dues, your Nazareth home, all the headings that they have paid. This was done for 2 weeks. you add them up, those who have paid, you come out, the branch financial secretary, come out with a list and write, according to the headings, seminary dues and everything. She will write it all up, add it in a list, it's sent to the zone. How? By the time she is sending, the branch financial secretary will sign. The branch treasurer will sign. The branch president will sign. As she sends it, because Form B now is the branch payment to zone. They sign. As it goes to zone, the zonal financial secretary signs, the zonal treasurer signs, and the president signs. She takes that list, she builds. She builds. By the time she builds, she's building now according to the branches. Because at zonal level, they register the money as per the branches. So the zone, which is your highest level now, you get the list and you still record the same. You put your total, everything. I want to say here that since the zone is your highest level, you must update that your ledger or your register. You update to know the number of women, because when you calculate all the seminary dues paid, with that register, you are able to know that 30 women have paid their dues at this rate. It's so much. It's updated. By the time you are sending the money to Cameroon, you know that 30 women, they have paid their money for this period, because the statute say every member should pay her dues between 1st January and 31st of March. So you update. By the time you are sending this list to the national, it carries the number of members who have paid and their monies, all signed by the branch, the zonal financial secretary, the zonal treasurer, the zonal president. And as the money is coming, even if you cannot send it a hard copy, it is always sent through the soft copy. It gets to us. When we see like that, it always. So for me to conclude, by the time we should know that good keeping of good recording is the base of the finances. By the time the recording is done very well, we don't need, it shows a healthy position. We say keeping it is so clear, we see it, nobody needs to ask anything. By the time you see those things, the treasurer who is receiving the money has no headache. Why? Because it has been ruled very well, recorded clearly, easy to follow. You just see, you don't need to ask questions. It's not that you just take money and send without an attach. That is why we said earlier on that money received should be backed up. All the backup should be respected. So, my dear sisters, it is not easy. But by the time we begin to practice it, we keep our day books consistently, it will not be a worry. And once that book, this is to avoid, if a former financial secretary is not there, we don't need to say, oh, she's not there, we cannot explain. But by the time all the signatories are being respected, we know at any one level, how many mothers have paid from branch to zone. All the branches there and all the zone, from the branch to the zone, you are able to know how many women have paid instanta. You don't have to be going and say, I'm checking, because you have done it well recorded. All the rules are kept. That is why it is said it is a process of recording systematically, respecting the dates. And when you follow the dates for the recording, it will help us to strategize in the CWA. So my dear sisters, I've been Ara Are, General Financial Secretary of CWA Cameroon. Thank you very much.
Mary did it for us. 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 He did it for us. Mary did it for us. Oh, she did it for us. Mary did it for us. Mary did it for us. What our friends could not do. Mary did it for us. What a kind mother. What a kind mother. What a sweet mother. What a sweet mother. What our mothers could not do. Mary did it for us.
Keeping good financial record is very, very vital. And money received should be backed up. So, that is the story.